Hey guys, welcome back to the channel on our regular Sunday. Now today we have the NOVE Atlantean 50mm. This is model number 1001-02. Now this is not a new watch. Y'all have seen this before. It came out, I think, about a couple years ago, and everybody and their brother was reviewing this thing. I'm reviewing it now for actually two reasons. One, I thought it was a really cool watch back then. I just never got a chance to review one. And two, NOVE actually was kind enough to send me 3 watches, this one included. Now, the reason they sent me this one, I guess, is, because I wanted to review it, but they also sent me 2 more. There is a updated version of the Atlantean coming out in December. That's going to be called the Atlantean II. And there is another watch they sent me, which is a brand new model. And I can't show you either of those today. I actually have all 3 of them, including this Atlantean original. I have the Atlantean II and another model they're calling the Marine. Those are coming out early December. Again, I can't show you because they are prototypes. I don't even have all the information from NOVE yet, so far as all the different stats and everything. I'm waiting to hear all that back. When those stats become available, I'll go ahead and review those other 2 watches. I'm super excited. I like this watch, the Atlantean 50mm, but the Atlantean II is substantially smaller. It's also a fantastic watch. Anyway, NOVE makes some great stuff, very original designs. I really like just about all of their watches. Let's check it out. Alright guys, we'll get into this, but first check out my Amazon shop and channel if you like this or any of the other watches I've reviewed on my channel. As y'all know, I get a very small commission if you buy from my Amazon store, so when you do so, I really do appreciate it. Now I will say one thing, I don't like NOVE packaging, and I'm going to show you why. This thing is kind of bulging. So you have the outer watch box here, and then the inner kind of watch clamshell. It's too big for this outer box, so it makes everything bulge up like this, and I wish NOVE would fix that. Now also, with that being said, so the outer watch box is too small for this like clamshell, and then when you open up the clamshell, and I think this is maybe just the problem with this particular watch, the Atlantean, this watch is so big, they just kind of shove it in there, and I don't say shove it in there, but like you can't stand this thing up like this where the face is right there. You have to kind of slam it to the side. It's kind of a messy packaging situation, at least in my opinion. You do get a microfiber cleaning cloth. You get a pamphlet advertising some of the watches. Another pamphlet telling you to go on NOVE's website and register your watch and all that other type of stuff. You also get 2 NATO adapters, which is going to save you a ton of weight if you want to put this thing on a NATO strap. Because as you're going to see here in a few minutes, this is easily the heaviest watch. This is absolutely the heaviest watch I have ever reviewed. This thing is gi-frickin-normous. Is that even a word? Gi-frickin-normous? Anyway, it's gigantic. So if you want to put it on a NATO strap, they include these strap adapters so you can do that. So that's cool. All right. And there's also another little surprise with what they include with the watch. I'll show you that in just a second. All right, so let's take all this foam out. And let's take the watch out. Good Lord, this thing is gigantic. It is, guys, it's like Invicta big. 10 times better than an Invicta, but it is Invicta big and heavy. Good Lord. Really big watch. All right, nothing else to show. Let's put all this stuff away. All right, as usual, we'll go ahead and talk about all the 7 specs you need to know. And then anything else you want to know about the watch, and there's quite a bit, check down there in the description field. Like it's got Super-LumiNova GL C3. It's got 120 click internal bezel, and I'll show you that. I actually have a little bit of a gripe with this internal bezel mechanism. Great idea, maybe not the best execution. But again, with the new Atlantean, the Atlantean II, they take care of some of these issues that I'm going to bring up with you today. All right, so you're looking at a ginormous, freaking ginormous, 50.5mm stainless steel case. It is 14 millimeters thick. Lug to lug is 55.6 millimeters. Bracelet starts out at 28 millimeters and tapers down to 24, so even a huge bracelet. You also get a dive extension, or what you want, maybe like a a bracelet extender. You also get that with this watch, and I'll show you that in just a second. It is water resistant to 300 meters, which is 990 feet. You get a Swiss Ronda 150 movement with about a 40-hour power reserve, and you do get a sapphire crystal. Again, if you want to know all the other specs, check down in the description field, and I'll tell you, like, you know, for instance, it weighs 252 grams. This thing is freaking ginormous. All right, so let's talk about this watch. Again, Invicta Big. It does have a really pretty abalone or mother of pearl dial. Now, whether that helps with visibility or not, it makes it a tad hard to read. Legibility could be better. I mean, if you just had like a regular black dial, legibility would definitely be better. But, you know, luckily the hands are nice and white, so they do contrast with that really pretty abalone shell. I've never been much of an abalone shell type of guy, but it looks good on this watch. You do have applied, fully lumed indexes on the dial itself, which is pretty cool. You got an applied NOVE logo, which kind of blends in with the abalone. It's kind of hard to see there. And then you have some writing at the bottom, Swiss made, 300 meters. You do have a date window. The date window is really recessed down. It's thank God they have that magnifier. So it is a little bit hard to read at first glance, but once you take a look at it, you can get to it. Again, you've got the abalone shell. Then you have all the markers on the bezel. Those are all loomed as well. Now, when you look to the side of the watch, this reminds me of the Seiko SUN019 kinetic watch. And let me show you that watch. Actually, here it is over here. So that's the watch I'm talking about, but really the side view, and I'll show you the side view here in just a second. From the side, it just reminds me of that watch. So you got these little arches right here that kind of go over the watch, over the case. It just reminds me, again, of that Seiko Kinetic. So anyway, kind of cool. All right, so you're looking at, you know, you got NOVE right there, or NOVE, however you want to pronounce it. You have some brushed areas and some polished areas. Most of the case is brushed. Then when you get to the bracelet, it's really highly polished. There's the crown. Again, it's a screw down crown over here at 4 o'clock. Here is the watch's party trick. You take this, undo it like that. That allows the internal bezel to move around, to rotate. 120 click. That allows that to rotate. Really neat idea. Again, the execution, only problem is that this thing is easy to kind of pop open. Now with the Atlantean II, they put a lock on this thing, thank goodness. They put a lock so you can't pop it open. But that's just one thing they fixed with the 2nd gen, that Atlantean II, that I'm really excited to show you. Again, when I get all the information, I'll be reviewing those watches as well. So anyway, so there's that, and that locks the bezel in place so you can't rotate it around. There's your crown, tons of knurling on the crown, which I like. And the crown, of course, is signed. There's the NOVE logo. I keep saying NOVE. I don't know if it's NOVE or NOVE. Anyway, there's the NOVE logo. Here's the rest of the watch. You got these sections right here have like little screws in them, flathead screws. Big bracelet. All right, there's your strap extender or your dive suit, you know, your extension right there. There you go, locks into place. Nice big NOVE logo that's kind of like, I don't know, embossed, I guess, or not engraved, maybe embossed or applied onto the buckle. That one right there, pretty cool. There's the NOVE wording again. Let's go ahead and open it up. You do get a machine scissor clasp. This is a friction close, so you just pop it open. There's your NOVE scissor clasp, a machined scissor clasp, which is nice. Here's a case back underneath. I've always liked NOVE's case backs. Not only are they skeletonized, I just like the font they use. I like everything to do with their case back. I think they just look fantastic. Really cool looking case backs, at least in my opinion. You know, it tells you, water resistance, it's Swiss made, all that good stuff you need to know. Nice rotor. Got a Ronda rotor there with NOVE on it. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm trying to get you, there you go. So good looking case back, man. Pretty cool. All right. So what else do I want to tell you about this thing? And that expander kind of like reminds me of a Citizen, honestly. I just washed the watch, so it's still got a little moisture on it. That's just water. Anyways, pop it in there. And then, it, of course, you release it by pushing the pushers in, and then it just snaps closed if you wanted to do that. So let's go ahead and pop this thing on the wrist. I know it's going to be heavy. I know it's going to fit, first of all, but it is going to be heavy. Guys, this is a huge, huge watch. Thank God I have an 8-inch wrist, so I can pull this off pretty easy. it's a good looking watch. Again, legibility is not the best because of that abalone dial, but it's still, it's a conversation starter for sure. And I think overall, I like the overall design. I really do. You know, maybe let's, you know, put this in titanium, maybe just, you know, put it, you know, shrink the case size down just a little bit. The watch definitely has presence to it for sure. All right, let me go ahead and give you a Lume shot here. Let's go ahead and kill the lights, kill the monitors. And that's the other surprise. When you get one of these from NOVE, I think even if you get one from Amazon, you get a NOVE branded UV torch. There you go. Pretty cool. Nice little torch, man. All right, let's go ahead and turn it on. And it's bright too, good grief. All right, there you go. So obviously, excellent, excellent Lume. Really nice Lume. Wow. Good job on the Lume, NOVE. For real. Pretty cool, man. It kind of has that glow on the internal portion of it. And of course, again, the bezel is lumed as well. So guys, if you want a big, kind of like a budget, when I say budget, this thing's $880. It's not a cheap watch. If you want a more of a, you know, budget-friendly Swiss watch, this would probably be a great entry-level Swiss watch, honestly. I think this would be great. I'm winding it down here real quick. And see how, look, see how whenever, even when I'm winding it, this lock wants to kind of pop open a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and do this. And it just kind of gets in the way of the whole winding process, to tell you the truth. Anyway, that's my biggest gripe with this watch. All right, let's go ahead and cut everything back on. I would love to know your thoughts on the Atlantean. Again, this watch has been reviewed many, many, many times by many other reviewers. I like it. Again, for me, it's a little too big. I mean, the quality is there for sure. I mean, the watch feels very well built. Again, just a little too big. Not a huge fan of the abalone dial, maybe just like a black or blue dial. They're going to fix this internal bezel mechanism with the next generation, which again, I can't show you yet, but I will very, very soon. So those are really my only three gripes. It is a tad expensive, but you are getting a Ronda movement. It is Swiss made. You do get Sapphire. So, it's kind of up to you. And also, do you like a big watch? Do you want something this big and this heavy? I mean, it's 252 grams, guys. That's half a pound. That's 8 ounces of watch on your wrist. And when you compare that to like putting like a Citizen ProMaster, one of those solar divers on that I reviewed lately, I mean, it's a big presence on your wrist for sure. But some people like that. Some people like these Invicta style, well, not style. This is a better watch than Invicta. These Invicta big watches. Some, bigger guys just want something bigger on their wrist. That's just personal preference. Anyway, you can pick it up on Amazon for $880. I'll make sure to put that link down there in the description field, or you can pick it up directly from NOVE if you want to do that. And it's also going to be the exact same price. There's no price difference. And again, I'll make sure to put those links down there in the description field for you. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you click that notification bell if you like my channel and my content. And I really do hope you do. And again, more updates coming with the new Atlantean II and the new NOVE Marine. Again, just don't have all the information yet, so I don't want to put something out there that I don't have the correct information. Anyway, so those reviews will be coming up pretty soon, so keep an eye out for them. And until then, I will see you on the next review. Take care. Bye-bye.